Welcome back to the DeliveringMore platform, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you consuming the content as always, morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you can. We appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. That's going to help out more than you could ever know. I have another great guest on the platform today. We have Jerome, Cars and Cribs, YouTuber, gig economist, encroaching on, I saw 8,000 subscribers on the channel, man. I'm pumped to have you. How are we doing?
How you doing? I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. And before we even talk about me, we're going to get into, if you are not subscribed, this is the best delivering podcast out there. So if you ain't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. And also make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you come from my channel, Cars and Cribs, go ahead and put the money back in the comment section just to let you know how we rocking.
Yeah, drop the money. Throw the Johnny Manziel on him. We'll drop it on him real quick.
Put that money back in the comment section.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, man. As always, you know how those subscribers work, man. I was just watching one of your videos. I think you said like something like 60% of you are watching, but you're not subscribed. Yeah. What's going on here? So
yeah, y'all need to get it together. Y'all got to get it together.
Yeah, always, man. I appreciate it again. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just get your whereabouts and everything. You're out in Chicago, right?
Well, I'm like in the suburb of Chicago. It's called like Gurney. I'm in the Gurney area, like right by Six Flags.
Okay. I'm a little bit familiar. Cool. Where are you always been in Chicago? You grew up, born and raised there? Or how'd you get to Chicago?
Well, I started off in North Chicago. I know a lot of people think it's Chicago, but it's not. It's probably like 45 minutes from Chicago. So I started off there. I grew up there, and then when I turned like 16, I was a sophomore in high school. I actually moved to Kenosha, Wisconsin. So I was in Wisconsin for a little bit, and then that's where I graduated from high school.
Cool. That's what's up, man. How'd your time in Wisconsin go? You like it out there? Is it better than Illinois? Not much different weather-wise, I feel like.
Well, the weather is definitely not different. It's the same thing. But it was just, honestly, it was a different environment. It's not the same. Like where I grew up I was in projects, and then we moved up and up and up. And then we moved to Kenosha, and it's just a whole different scene out there. It's like things are just it's like right across the border. It's only like probably 30 minutes from where I'm at now, but it's just different. It's just different.
Cool,
not in a bad way. It's just not what I was used to, and I got to actually like venture off and see a little bit different things than I was normally used to back then. So
yeah, I mean, you always got to adapt, new environment, new people, new places,
sir.
Make some new friends, see some new faces, figure out the best restaurants in town, the best people to deliver for, things like that.
Yep.
Cool. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you joining us today, man. I just obviously I hope your guys' followers, your Cars and Cribs channel will migrate over here, check this interview out. They obviously know a good bit about you, but letting our platform know who you are, why you're on here, and we can get it started, you know?
So a question for you. When is this video going to
drop? So this will end up dropping actually next Friday.
Okay, next Friday. So I'm gonna start warming them up now. I'm gonna tell them to come over here, subscribe, and everything, and it's gonna drop next Friday. So I'll have them ready for you.
Cool. Yeah. This will be a quick turnaround. Yeah, we had someone canceled on us Tuesday that we were supposed to record with. They were gonna be Friday. Luckily, you had you in the chamber, good to go. We're gonna finish this. I'm gonna chop it up, clip it up, and we'll be in and out next Friday.
Yes, sir.
Ready to go. So, cool, man. So, I mean, going from there, obviously. The way we found you is from Cars and Cribs, your YouTube channel. You're big in the gig industry platforms, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Deliver That.
Yes, sir.
Where's your starting point in the gig industry to begin there?
So this is what happened. I'm gonna tell you a little story right quick. So the whole gig economy thing, it was never my idea. This is always my business partner idea. I never thought about it. I never considered it. She was like, we should do, at first she wanted to do Uber. I'm like, I just have a thing about people sitting behind me. So I'm like, I'm not doing Uber. And from what I know now, you can't really have another passenger in the car, but you just kind of got to do it by yourself.
Right.
So I'm like, absolutely not. You cannot do Uber because you're going to be out there by yourself. It may be nighttime, and you'll probably make the most money in Chicago, but that's probably not the place you really want to be delivering, dropping people off at night. So then she was like, we should try DoorDash. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about the DoorDash and all that stuff. But actually, that's how I came up with the name DDK. For those who don't know, it stands for DoorDash King. And that's how I came up with the name. On my first ever video, first ever delivery, that's what I just branded it from there. That's how DDK came about.
DDK, I got you. And what's the logo we got going on behind you? What's that?
Oh, Redefine The Brand. So we have a clothing line. We have hoodies, hats, t-shirts, cologne, perfume. We got a lot of different stuff going on. So
Hell yeah, a little
yeah,
entrepreneurial spirit, man. Gotta
yeah, yes,
appreciate anything
sir.
like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
So you got the business partner. She convinces you to get into the gig world. What did we start with? Did we start on DoorDash?
yeah. We started on DoorDash, and we did DoorDash for a while, and then I'm like, DoorDash started to kind of slow down a little bit. So I'm like, let's try some Uber Eats, and then we started doing Uber Eats, and then honestly, it just went from there. We've done probably like 14 different apps. And this is only I
Damn.
started October 24th of last year. So it ain't like I've been doing this for a long time. So some of the apps we do, first off, is Deliver That, one of the best apps platforms out there, honestly. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on this podcast. I'm being for real because I think that you guys, first off, the payouts are great. And secondly, you are more personable with the people because you actually can talk to someone directly at Deliver That. You can't really talk to a person at DoorDash. You're gonna talk to someone from another different country probably. You're not gonna talk directly to a person. So I could just text somebody and text you guys and tell you, you know, the order's not coming out yet. I'm gonna be late, and then you guys can veer it from there. So honestly, Deliver That is probably one of the best. It's not probably. It's one of the best platforms, and in my top three. So we've done Deliver That, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Drop Off, Dispatch, GoPuff, Shipt, Instacart, Roadie, Grubhub, Spark, and Amazon Flex.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was just watching some of your videos and everything to get more caught up on you before this, and one of your most recent videos had you picking up, was it like pharmacy pickups?
Yeah, that's drop off. So with
Okay,
drop off,
okay.
we gotta actually go to CVS. We actually gotta run tonight. We go to CVS, we pick up COVID tests. We go to two CVS's and then we drop it off at the O'Hare Airport in Chicago. And we make $160 in probably like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a hell of a deal to me, man. That's
So
wild.
honestly, drop off and deliver that are my two favorite apps. They're my two favorite apps. So
And that's, I mean, this is actually kind of what was going to be my later on question once we got a little deeper in the conversation, but we're kind of encroaching on already. So something we kind of like to talk about at Deliver That is like forming a platform stack or a delivery stack, right? Because like
mhm,
obviously you'll be familiar with this, but like Deliver That, we're super active from like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., right? We're a business
yeah.
derived platform, so we're going to businesses, doctors' offices, hospitals, schools, a lot of lunchtime delivery, right? And then all these
Mhm.
other platforms, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, you can do those pretty much 24/7. And then it sounds like you got a drop-off platform where you have those things occurring almost every night. So how do you go about scheduling yourself on each of these platforms?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I go wherever the money at, and for the most part, I don't do the drop off. I don't do the drop off route every night. I do it on usually Mondays and Tuesdays. But today is Friday, and they actually called me and asked me was I available, and I said yeah. So I usually do that on Mondays and Tuesdays, and that started at 6 p.m. So I got to do all the other apps in the meantime. I kind of, if I get a deliver that order, usually come in there at night or early morning, then
Right.
I kind of move my morning around off that. So I'm going to go to the area wherever the pickup is, and that's where I'm going to start doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that stuff. And then I'm going to do deliver that, pick that up, and then kind of go work it that way.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that makes the most sense. Obviously, take kind of just going where the deliveries take you and basing it off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I obviously, and the, a ton of people on YouTube, right, do this kind of like daily DoorDash stuff, the daily vlogs and things like that. So there's a ton of content you can consume, very similar to what you're doing. But the way you do it, man, is like so contagious. And I read the comments. Obviously, people are talking about the energy you bring, the way you bring it. You're super real, like with your interactions and stuff like that. How do you, I mean, are you recording
Mm-hmm.
these videos every day? Are you producing this stuff every day? Is this like a reoccurring thing that you're waking up every day producing this content and going about it all the time? Like you're always on, it feels like, right? So like, does that ever get tiring? Do you get sick of that? Do you take breaks? Like
I
how do
can't hear
you
you. It's breaking
handle
up
that?
on me.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, you're good.
I can't hear you that much. It's going out on me.
Yeah, give me a second. Yep.
Yep. All right, cool.
All right. We're back, baby.
Take two.
All right, Jerome, take two. All right, folks, we can't lie to you. This is why we book out an hour for a 30-minute conversation, because sometimes you get some technical difficulties and you got to work through it. But we got great people like Jerome and Jim who are willing to work with us, and we're back. And we're back, and we're back. And Jerome,
You know, I want to say something before you get into it.
yeah,
In life,
what's
you
up?
got to make adjustments. If something don't work, you got to move it, make adjustment, and do something else. Try this. That made that work. Try that. Sometimes you got to do it. That's just how you got to do it.
Hey, it's all about how you battle back from adversity. You know, sometimes
Exactly.
when you get down, how are you going to get back up? And we're just getting back up.
That's what we doing. You got to
That's
keep
all we're
on
doing,
moving and
man.
growing.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, we were, I think, so we were kind of talking about your channel, realistically. I was getting into kind of the energy you're bringing, how, you know, all your videos, man, you're just hyped up. Okay, like for you're like ad-libbing some of these. I think some in one of the videos I just watched, you said like 366 RIP Nips or something like that. Like
Yeah,
shout out
yeah,
Nipsey
yeah.
Hussle. I was dying, man, like dying laughing. You're like throwing
Yeah.
in one song. You started singing "Gimme That" by Chris Brown. That's like one of my all-time favorite songs.
And I changed it. See, I changed it. I'm not saying give me that. I'm saying deliver that. So when I do the deliver that orders, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying deliver that. You don't like it how instead of give me that. So I switched it up a little bit.
Remixing it on the fly. Yeah, man. But how, like, what? I mean, obviously, that's just like the real you, I imagine, right? You're just bringing like the real you to your videos and doing it as you're just being, you know, as authentic as you possibly can be. So, how do you go? How are you just bringing that energy every day? Do you ever have like down days where you're like, damn, I got to record a video today. I don't know if I can bring it.
Honestly, I feel like I always can bring it. I do have some days when I just wake up and I'm like, now it ain't about me. It ain't about what I feel like doing though. That's the thing about a person who a real hustle or a real grinder. It's not about what you feel like doing. It's about you got to do what you got to do. And I know that my people they need me to drop this video because they waiting for it. It's like they morning coffee while they out there grinding and everything. It's like they out there and they need me to drop that video because that's why I drop it at 7:40 in the morning so it can get prepared them for their day. They can go out there and get busy. So honestly, sometimes, honestly, a lot of people don't know this, but when I do DoorDash or deliver that or anything, I really don't have music. I really drive in silence. Really, they think a lot of times, like 95% of the time, I'm driving in silence. Another thing that helps me is just being outside, the nature. You know, it gets me in a better mood sometimes, and you know, everybody have their days. You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days, but you got to keep on grinding.
Yeah, man. I feel
If
like it
all
can be
fails, keep grinding.
it can be tough sometimes when it's winter time and it's dark out at like 4 p.m. You don't get all that
Yes.
light you need. You know, you don't get all that energy you need. Sometimes it could be a little bit difficult here in Ohio, out there in Illinois. But I feel where you're coming from there for real. I just wanted to see, you know, like the way you're recording these videos. You got the chest piece and you got like the dash cam. The interactions you're having with these restaurant employees and the customers and stuff like that. Do you think, like, because we, like Jim and I, we've gone into, you know, office buildings and we're carrying like cameras and stuff like that, and sometimes people are like, whoa, 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 like you can't be doing that in here. But like with you, it's a little more discreet, right? Like people maybe don't even know what's happening. Like, do you think, have you found it's just easier to go about it like that?
Honestly, a lot of times people don't even know what it is. Majority of people they don't know what it is. They be like, "What is that?" And I'll just tell them it's a GoPro, and I got the YouTube channel. And some people don't like it, and some people do like it. And then honestly, I really like interacting with the children because they love it. They want to be on YouTube, so they want to come and say hi to the camera and all that stuff. So the kids
Yeah,
know what's going on.
yeah, they're trying to go
So
viral any second they can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like to just give good energy and good interactions with people because that takes people a long way in life. And everybody, a lot of times people have bad days, and you interacting with them maybe make it a better day for them.
Some things I noticed within your videos, you know, a lot of times, especially seems like the DoorDash deliveries, right? Like when you get to the drop offs, a lot of time you're reading off like the instructions, like, oh, this one says don't ring the doorbell, just leave the food. This one
hmm
says, you know, open the door, leave the food on the first step or something like that. How important for you are those instructions on those deliveries? You know, especially when you're going to an apartment or like a big apartment complex, you know, if you have a
hmm
specific number or if you're not given a phone number, things like that. Have you ran into problems where like you just can't get the food to someone sometimes?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I have to call support. That's the last thing I want to do. So I want to make sure I read everything on this thing because I've got to call support. That's like 20 minutes. I got to wait 20 minutes, wait for them to put me on hold and talk to. I don't want to do all that. So reading is fundamental. Just read the thing, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. But sometimes people don't even tell you nothing. They just They just send the order out and then you just stuck. And you're like, man, what am I supposed to do? And I call, they don't answer the phone. It's like, what am I supposed to do now?
Man, I'll tell you, I literally I just ordered DoorDash last night. I was up in Cleveland, and in the instructions, so I'm at this like apartment complex, and in the instructions I put like, the if you go to the front door, the guy at the door will let you in the lobby, bring the food to apartment, blah blah blah. If you have any problems, call the number. I
Mm-hmm.
get a notification on my phone, a message from the driver, and they just took a picture of the food outside that front door and were like, "Hey, the door was locked. They just left the food." I was like,
You
"Well,
gotta
hey,
follow. I'm big on following instructions. That's not what I told you to do.
right. Well,
That's
that's why I
not what I told you
responded.
to
I was
do.
like, I was like, I left you a phone number. Like, why couldn't you just call me? Like, you just left my food sitting out in the 30-degree weather. Like, just
Exactly.
give me, like, call me. Like, what are we doing?"
So a lot of times, how I look at it, how I take my day upon, I really think about what would I want. So if I put it in this thing, I would want somebody to bring it exactly why I told them to bring it. I don't want you to do whatever you want to do. That ain't why I ordered it. I ordered it so you can bring it to where I need you to bring it to. So I do it. I just do it. I just reciprocate the energy I would want if I order something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's always a good way. I think it's been said on this platform a million times. Obviously, and that goes kind of with like the payment thing too, and like the gratuities and stuff like that. A lot of the gig industry, a lot of complaints like on DoorDash, Uber Eats, even on the Deliver That platform, sometimes is the payment and the amount these drivers are getting paid, the gratuity process, things like that. And it's like, well, if some of these drivers are not putting forth the effort to receive that actual payment, like you have to give before you can get sometimes, you know what I mean? So like the effort you're giving out is also what you're going to receive in return.
And you know something that's so crazy about all of this whole gig driver and all that stuff. A lot of people who do all the complaining, they are the worst ones. They always complaining about something, but they're doing a terrible job. What are you complaining about? You want somebody to tip you. You doing a terrible job, and I don't know, man. Some people they just gonna complain. The people who do the worst job, they usually be the ones that complain. I can understand there are going to be some people that just don't tip off top. Like if you do
Right.
an Uber Eats order, they're gonna tip bait you and all that stuff. It's some bad people like that that's gonna do that. But for the most part, a lot of drivers they just don't be doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, it can be tough. It can be tough. And obviously it's I mean, especially with social media and everything, how we live these days, the negative just gets put out there so much more than the
Mm-hmm.
positive, right? Like we tell these restaurant partners all the time, like you'll hear complaint after complaint after complaint, but if we've taken 1,000 of your deliveries and done 990 of them perfectly, the only 10 you hear about are the ones that went wrong, right? So it's
Yep.
like, how do you react? How do you deal with that and move forward? But obviously, we don't want to put too much energy into the negative here. I did you mention the tips a little bit. If you don't mind, do you have any great delivery stories, any deliveries where you've gotten like to a drop off and the customer has been like, "Oh man, that service was spectacular. Here's an extra cash tip. Here's a order added
Oh
on the
yeah.
back end," things like that?
We get cash tips all the time. Our highest tip was $113.25.
Dang.
But honestly, we're here to help the people. I love older people. That's my thing. That's my thing. I got a warm heart for older people. I love older people, and if I can help them, I'm gonna help them as much as I can. So the lady was disabled, so we actually had to take her food down the stairs to her in her house because she had like a duplex kind of thing working out. So we had to take it down there to her and make sure she got everything she needed to get. But she definitely tipped us $113 for that, and I think it was well worth it. I'm just here to help the people as much as I can, really.
Yeah, that's a great mindset to come from too, man. Just being acts of service, realistically, doing
Hmm.
what you can for other people, especially when they're people in need like that, right? You don't know what other people are going through a lot of times. You don't know what they have going on in their lives. Like they might be going
Exactly.
through something really, really hard right now, and that food getting delivered on time, the way they ordered it, that might literally make their whole day. So like it
Yeah.
could be a life changing thing sometimes.
But then you got the flip side too. Then you got the side where people say that delivery drivers shouldn't get tips and all that stuff because it's
Right.
our job, but which I honestly disagree with. That's my personal opinion. Some people may not feel the same way. But how would you feel if you went to your job and you worked overtime and they said we ain't paying you? How would you wouldn't like that? So I think it should be, I think you should be more understanding about that too.
Yeah, I think realistically too, from my perspective, it's almost the gig economy, especially delivery drivers. It's kind of blown up, obviously, especially since COVID, right? Like
Hmm.
delivery of food specifically became an essential thing to happen, not necessarily just a luxury item that you got whenever you need it in like random moments, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's really about kind of educating the customers nowadays and making sure they understand, how are these drivers getting paid? If you're paying a $20 fee to that restaurant, that whole fee is not going to the driver. Maybe a lot of times, maybe like 50% of that fee is going to the driver, and then they're really making their back end money on that gratuity.
Mm-hmm.
So, just making sure these customers understand the full life cycle of the delivery,
Yeah.
understand why you're doing it the way you are, and how these drivers are actually getting paid out. Especially too, a lot of these restaurant partners or customers, I should say, they don't know that the delivery drivers sometimes don't work for the stores still.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they think they're still getting an hourly wage from that store that they ordered from, when in reality it's an outsourced contractor who they're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
make a living working these apps.
Yeah. It goes both ways. I agree. A lot of people just don't know.
As far as your navigation of the jobs themselves, right? A lot of your videos kind of consist of you, like, I don't know if it's exaggerated sometimes or not, but you'll be like, you start out the video and you take like 3 back-to-back deliveries, and then you like sit for an hour or so, and you're like, man,
Mm-hmm.
no good jobs are coming in. I'm rejecting this one, this one, this one, this one.
Mm-hmm.
What about those jobs are you seeing that isn't fundamentally or just monetarily lucrative enough for you? Is it just a distance thing? Is it a payoff off the rip thing, a gratuity thing, or the delivery takes you out of your route so you don't want to take it? What kind of stuff are you seeing on your end?
Honestly, it's all three of those. They be a lot of times they have no tip orders that they want you to drive 10 miles for $3.75, or then DoorDash try to combine orders together, and one tips you and one don't tip you, and then you driving 10 miles, you're going all the way over here, and then you also have to come back too. Though a lot of people don't think about that. You also have to drive back too. So honestly, it's just a mixture of all three of the ones you named.
If someone were to sign up to deliver that today, or DoorDash today, or Instacart today, or drop off today, like if you go back to, I think you said you started October of last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going back to October of last year and you already know everything you know now after having done this a year, what would you have done differently? How do you attack this stuff differently? Are there things that you know now that you think, man, if I would have known this in November last year, I would have been doing this so much differently?
Absolutely. I would have signed up for every app I could sign up for. Because we did DoorDash for like, it was a little while. We did mostly just DoorDash. I would have signed up for all of the apps and tried. The one thing about me is I'm not afraid to try new things. I'm not afraid to try new things, because if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to continue to get the same result. If you're complaining about DoorDash, that means that maybe you should try to add another app on. But honestly, me, I'm not loyal to any app. I go wherever the money at. Wherever the money at, that's where I go. So
I feel like that.
that's just how I think about it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people react that way and think that way too. And I mean, that's just, sometimes it's how you just got to make a living, right? It is what it is, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
a monetary value. And if the
It's
money's
a
there, the
service.
money's there.
It's a service. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. You pay me to do this job, and that's just how I do it. Honestly, to be honest though, if I could deliver that all day, I would. If I had like orders, I'd do that every single day, because it's so easy. It's so easy. It's straightforward. You really don't have to deal with people that much. You go to the worst you're gonna have to do is deal with the restaurant. Get to the restaurant, go there. You're gonna drop the food off, and it's simple. You don't really get bothered. They're gonna show you where to drop it off at, set it up, and you're good to go.
Yeah, man. I mean, I started with Deliver That in 2018, right? So I'm going on year 5 now, and since I've been here, I mean, it's been a discussion point. We do everything we can to get breakfast deliveries, evening
Mm-hmm.
deliveries, and things like that. But it's really just a matter of kind of branching out into new partnerships, right? Like a lot of
Yeah.
a major partnership of ours is Easy Cater, like we say, that's major lunch catering, businesses, doctors'
Mm-hmm.
offices, things like that. We're about to launch a brand new partnership. I don't know if you've heard of Olo, but they do a lot of on-demand ordering through they're like a POS system for a lot of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, a lot of DoorDash deliveries are probably placed through Olo, things like that. But yeah, so I mean, it's just a way we can branch out into other
Yeah.
developments and get things like that. So we can service you guys and have deliveries for you 24/7, which obviously is the end goal, right? We want
I
people
can't
to
wait.
sign up for Deliver That and be able to go from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? That'd be a
Yeah.
dream.
Yep, I can't wait. I'm ready. I'm always ready. I'm always ready to make some money. That's my thing. I like to make money.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. What about some just like delivery stories? Anything like Like you got something off the top of your head, like a weirdest story, a funny story, a customer interaction that you just left and you're like, man, did that really just happen? Like what just happened?
I got one for you, right? This was a DoorDash order. It was a Walgreens order. So I go on Walgreens, I click start shopping, right? I get in there. They want me to pick up some Jock Itch cream and some Monostat 7. So I'm like, this I'm like, this already sounds bad, right? So I get the stuff, I go, I pay for it, I drive to the house. When I get to the house, the note on there said, put it into the garage, do not knock on the door, and put it on this couch in the garage, like inside of the garage. And when I went and put it by the garage, it said put it by the book bags. So I'm thinking like these kids are out of control. They some deep. They need to go to the doctor. These it had to be some kids. It had to be some kids.
Yeah,
So
they didn't
yeah,
want
that
the
was a
parents
crazy
to
one.
know.
Yeah, they definitely didn't want their parents to know. I had to take it in the garage, and it was dark outside too. So I was a little skeptical about it. It was a little dark outside. I was like, take it in the garage. That's the first time and last time that ever happened to me.
That's wild. That's wild. What you like going down the Walgreens deliveries and things like that. You is that the only platform that you have to go in and shop for the customer?
Well, Walgreens, that was a DoorDash order, so they
Oh, okay,
have
right,
shopping
right.
delivers for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, and Instacart, and Ship too. They have deliveries like that for those
Do you
four.
enjoy doing stuff like that? How's that usually work? Is it easy, like in and out, or does it take more time, or how do you
Uh,
feel about that?
the Instacart, my business partner used to do the Instacart because I'm definitely not good with the shopping. Like a lot of stuff, I'm not good with it. Honestly, before I started doing gig work, I never used to go to grocery stores or department stores. It takes so long. You got to be in there for 30 minutes. You want to go to Walmart to get some toothpaste, and they only got one line open. You got to wait in line. It just takes too long. So I never used to go to department stores. I always just order stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that too. I saw like a video. You're like picking out items. It's like having you scan it. And it's like telling you it's the wrong item. You're like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what am I looking for? How am I supposed to find this? What if they don't have the item? What do you do then? Do you just like call the customer? You're like, yo, they don't have it.
Yeah, sometimes you can call a customer, or sometimes they have a substitute in there where they want you to substitute for this, but sometimes people don't put the substitute in there. So then you got to call them, or if they don't answer, you got to call support, or you might got to cancel the order. So it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. And like you mentioned about that support too with DoorDash. And I'm not here to like sit here and like boost up, deliver that or anything. But you mentioned, on our team, you can text our hotline, call our hotline. I feel like we're pretty approachable and like easy to reach out to compared to a lot of these other platforms. Have you felt that way utilizing us as a
Absolutely.
service?
It's not even comparable. There is no other app that's better than y'all with communication. It's not even close. It's like a landslide. It's like day and night. Like if I text that the order taking long, y'all gonna get back to me within 5 minutes, say 5 minutes. That the order's gonna be a little late. I always try to keep a line of communication with you guys when I go there too, so you guys know what's going on. The order's taking longer than they're supposed to, so you guys can let the customer know, or I can let the customer know that the order may be late.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and to be honest with you, 5 minutes too is almost like I would almost be getting nervous at that point too on our platform. I like to see those responses a little quicker, but
Yeah, it's
even
fast. Within
if
5 minutes, you're gonna hear something back. It's not gonna take a long time. And you could just text them. You don't have to go through the app to go. I got the number. I just text the number, and let them know what's going on. It's very simple.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. You can message us on the app realistically too, but it gets a little convoluted sometimes on our back
Yeah,
end stuff. It's
I like to go directly to the source. I want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
right to
It's
the
it's
person.
it's much easier that way, much quicker for sure. The last thing I kind of wanted to really talk to you about, man, is kind of something we share in common as in my new role within Deliver That of the past year, which is really just the content creation, right?
Hmm.
In January, I started kind of a marketing and content coordinator role. So I'm kind of responsible for some social media stuff, videos we put out, this podcast, obviously, things of that nature. How do you go about, making things that you think people want to see or people want to hear about? Are you just looking at the comments and you're like, oh man, I can make a video about that? Or are you just like, this is my daily stuff. I'm doing this every single day. I'm just going to put out there what I'm actually doing.
Honestly, I just go out there and get busy every day. That's what we do. That's what I do. I just go get busy. I go out there, and then we kind of my business partner is the one who does the thumbnail. She does the description. She all the analytical stuff. She does all that. My job is to get on the camera, do that, and then edit the video. And her job, so
Right.
that's how we do it. And then she does that part. I do that part. And honestly, I would say majority of the time doing this every single day. Like for those of you who don't know who haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and go subscribe to the channel. It's called Cars and Cribs. The link gonna be in the description.
It'll
But
be in there.
I did videos 300, like for the first year, every single day I dropped a video. Like every single day, I didn't miss a day. Every
Oh.
single day. So but then I had to, like, after a while, again, we talked about before, you got to make some adjustments. So we had to make some adjustments, and we noticed that the numbers on the weekend videos didn't get that many views. So now we got to cut it back to just Monday through Friday. And I got a secret for you. On Wednesdays, I took a course, the Graham Stephan course. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's one of the
Yeah.
bigger YouTuber with the financial and all the financial situations and everything. So I took his course, and Wednesdays are going to be the days where you're going to get the most views. That's what he said. And then honestly, ever since I took the course and found that out, he about right. He's about right.
What about so like most of the videos you're putting out are like 10 minutes in length. How much, you said you're editing those yourself on the back end. Are you taking like hours of footage and that's coming into 10 minutes? Or are you like clipping stuff out as you go?
We do, it's hours of recording. So another thing is about how the length of the video. My older videos were longer. They 20 minutes, 22. Now I took the course, and he said give it around like 10 to 11 minutes, and that's a sweet spot. It's fast, it's digestible. I was giving them too much to eat. You got to digest it too. So that's what I try to do. And honestly, with the coming up with the thumbnails and everything, or coming up with the videos, it's just whatever happens in the video. She finds all the stuff. Like whatever may have happened in the video, she look over the video and she find out something in the video and use that for the thumbnail and to make it the title and everything.
Gotta make it something people want to see. People want to click on real quick, watch for a solid amount of time.
Crazy. People love negativity. They love negativity and drama. Those are the things they're gonna click on. That's what they click on.
What about the YouTube Shorts? I saw you only have like a handful of them posted, but I think you trying like the Impossible Whopper, so another one too. Are you planning on doing more stuff like that?
Yeah, so that's on my other channel. I got another channel called Down to Chill. So that's the other side. When I play some video games, do some food reviews and stuff like that. I'm trying to expand and get as big as I can get. So we do gaming and food reviews and stuff like that, and we make some shorts on that. She does the shorts. I edit the regular video, and she cut it down into shorts. Or sometimes we just make a short. Speaking of shorts, I'm going to do my first short on Deliver That today.
Hey, I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see it. We post on our channels for you too. Get plenty of viewership for you. Yeah. What I did, this is probably, we might have to actually like chop this and put this at the beginning of the conversation. But Cars and Cribs, right? Obviously, I saw you had that delivery to the Ford shop the other day. And you're talking about the Aston Martin car. Seemed like you're super into it, like very a car-oriented person. Was that the origin of the channel? Was it originally like a car review and like something to do with like houses and stuff like that?
Yeah. So for those, a lot of people don't know this, I'm a real estate agent too.
Oh, okay.
So so the Cars and Cribs. So again, you got to make adjustments. In life, you got to make adjustments. If you want to grow, you got to make adjustments. So we first started doing house reviews. Well, even before that, let's go back a little bit further. I used to do like little 1-minute house reviews on Facebook, like 3 or 4 years ago. I used to do 1-minute house reviews, walk through the house real quick, boom, 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 show them everything to promote me being a real estate agent. Then I decided I've been wanting to be a YouTuber for a long time. I got the idea from Tall Guy Car Reviews and Mr. Organic. Those are the people how I found out you got to drop a video every day. That's the blueprint I got from them. Tall Guy Car Reviews, Mr. Organic, and CJ 32. They gave me the blueprint. Well, I watched them do the blueprint. Drop a video every day. So that's what started making me drop videos more often. And then we went from house reviews, then we went to car reviews. And after the car reviews, then we started getting into the gig work. So that's the stage we're at now.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, I feel that probably should have been question number one, I feel like. But hey,
that's why it's called Cars and Cribs.
Right, yeah.
Then I was like, am I going to change the name? But then it's like, it's kind of already stuck there. So I can't really change it now. I got to kind of leave it.
It kind of, I mean, you're in your car and you're going to Cribs. So it's still, it still lands. I still feel like it applies.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you joining us again today, man. I know we had a little difficulties there getting the audio started and had a little brief intermission there, man. But obviously, like you said, we're battling adversity. We're coming back better than we've ever been before.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, you want to shout out some socials you got? Shout out your YouTube channel, like you said. We'll post the link in the description below for the video. But any other places people can find you, let them know.
So YouTube, Cars and Cribs. I have my Instagram. Honestly, about the other social media, we working on that right now. I need to do everything. I'm changing everything into a business page now. That's the next step. That's the next step we're doing. So I'm going to switch everything over to a business page. So I really don't have that right now. I do have my regular one that I do. It's Jerome Adams Jr. on Facebook, and then my Instagram is real Jerome. So that's another thing about the branding. So everything I do, I brand it. So
Right.
it was DDK. Me being a real estate agent, I'm real Jerome. When I'm being a landlord at my properties, I'm landlord Rome. I just brand stuff. MCR stands for medical courier Rome. So when I do like the drop off videos of the medical carrying, that's why I name it MCR, medical courier
Okay.
Rome. So I just brand everything I do.
Yeah. Get a little back end insight there for all the people at home who are wondering why he's popping up with all these names.
Yeah, I got plenty of names. I'll make up another one. If something else come out, I'll switch it again. You got to make adjustments.
DT Jerome.
Yeah. See, DT Rome. See, then the thing is like I'm so known as DDK. Like, can I really switch it? Because I don't really do DoorDash as much as I used to anymore. But it's like it kind of stuck. It's kind of stuck right there, the DDK. So I don't know. I may change. You never know.
Yeah. We'll work on it. We'll workshop some names. We'll see what we come up with, man. But again, I appreciate you, man. We'll make sure we get these Cars and Cribs followers on the Deliver That platform. Get these Deliver That platform followers on the Cars and Cribs channel. Everyone like, subscribe, share the video. Get this in front of some faces, some new eyeballs, and we appreciate you as always. Jerome, thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys for having me. And again, do not forget, if you're watching this from my channel, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that thumbs up, and do not skip the ads. And go ahead and go in the comment section and put that money back down there so they can know how we coming. They need to know what's going on. I'm gonna definitely promote it so we can go get out to as much people as possible.
Cool. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
Cool.